Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I'm going to continue working on this new syntax context receiver for the inline mapping to see how this all works. So what we're going to do next is, I think we got all the things we need. So the next thing we need to do is go into the generator. And this is where things are going to start to bust, because we're no longer going to say this. We're going to say map context receiver. And as if the receiver is a map context receiver. Okay, now you see all of a sudden, well, what went wrong? An expression of type there. Okay, because that should be an yeah, okay. Now things go kerflooey because we want to say here that we are taking a map receiver. This is a map context receiver. And that goes into mapping information. Mapping information will now take a map context receiver, which will break that. So we're going to go into validate. And we're going to say map context receiver. Except now, what we're going to do is say for each var values in receiver dot map targets. So we're going to call these targets. For each target in map targets. Okay. And in fact, we're just going to call this targets. Okay. So these are our targets. We're going to say mapping information validate map. Okay. Except no, we're going to do validate pairs. Because the current node is the target dot origination node. The source is the target dot source type. The target destination type. And the builders is the maps. That's it. Those go away. That's all you need now. Okay. And in fact, if I come here to the map context receiver, I'm going to say this is the source. Oh, fine. This will be the source. This is the destination. Okay. And this is the origination. We'll clean those up just slightly. So then, not in the generator, in the information. Yeah, these are now that. We no longer need to do validate map from, or validate map to, or validate map. All that goes away. Okay. This feels so much cleaner. Yeah, much cleaner. So now if I come back to the generator, much simpler. Much simpler. Okay. If I do Shift F6, I bet this assembly will build. Okay. Now, some other stuff's going to break though, because if I was testing the receiver, well, the map receiver is still there. Yeah, the build failed. What failed? So what do you do in this case? Yeah, you can't pass in that. So the mapping information changes. Okay, well, let's just go, let's just go full on out. We're going to get rid of the current mapping receiver. Okay. And then we're going to change this to the receiver. Okay. Which changes that name, which is fine. Okay. Nothing in here should have broken. Okay. Because that's still our receiver. We still pass that in. Nothing there. Okay, fine. But now if we come up here, I know that like in our tests here, our map receiver is just going to go just, find targets. There we go. And now receiver, it's on visit syntax node. Oh God. Well, I didn't think that one through. Oh, crap. You have failed. A generator syntax context. Well, that gives you generator execution context. That gives you generator initialization context. What gives you a generator? New, I don't know. Can you do that? Sure. But it's, you know, why do they do this? Why do they insist? Generator, no. Syntax, context, dot, equal. I can't. It's a struct. Well, something's got to set that, right? Context passed to a, yeah, it's a read-only. Okay, it's a struct, so you can't inherit from it. It's not implementing any interfaces. Who is calling me? Probably a bogus call. Okay, you've got to be able to set these values somehow to get them passed in, right? How else would you create this? Like, I'm not stupid here, right? You've got to somehow be able to say new generator syntax context. Okay, I get it. It's read only. Is there like some syntax that does not have a parameter name? I know it doesn't have a parameter. How do you create a generator syntax context if you can't set the properties? This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. Just and actually this would have to change because I was just assuming that it was syntax. You actually need to pass in things here that are actually correct. But that's okay. We can't even get to that point because I can't even figure out how to pass in a freaking. And the generator syntax context also needs a semantic model. So this gets a little bit more complicated. This is figurable outable, but I can't figure out how you actually create a new generator syntax context if you don't even have the ability to set the node, and yet it works. Like, it's read-only. I get it. Do you do some weird-ass reflection to set this? Or is there something oh, God. Don't tell me. Once again, Microsoft, you do not understand why people need to do testing. Okay, .NET Roslyn. And then where is the, so I keep forgetting where it is. Coding guidelines, NuGet feeds, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. Fix a bug. I don't care about this. Why do they always make things so hard? Is it source Roslyn? Roslyn source.io. Source Roslyn.io. Generator syntax context. Give me a moment. Okay, there is the rant in the Discord channel, and I'm going to go to the .NET Roslyn, the repo in GitHub, and I'm actually going to put this as a bug. There is absolutely no reason for me that I can see where I would have to have this as being internal. It's a public struct. Why couldn't I just pass in the node and the model myself? It is just like unbelievable. And where it's being created here is in a generator syntax walker. I have no chance to make this because I have to do something that's internal, that's in Roslyn itself for me to be able to create this. How would I be able to create a generator syntax walker, may you say? Generator driver. As a walker builder, generator driver. Okay, so, but I know that. I mean, I get it. If I come into here and I go into my map generator, map to test, map for whatever, these are all going to go away because it's going to just be, well, it won't. These are going to stay here. But the point is, if I come down here, I bet there is a run generators and update compilation. Right. Okay. Here's your generator driver. So does driver in this case run generators and update compilation? Yeah. So, like, does the generator then, in this case, and why does that show up as a question mark there? I just created the damn thing. Why would you have it as being a nullable? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, so the thing I'm wondering is because you're giving a generator and you'd run the generators and update the compilation. Okay. Is that the generator would then have had on this called and it would be just fine. And then you would have, you'd be able to test it and then see, when before you would use it, those values would just be, the length would be 0. But then after this, the length would be 1 or 2 or however else many you had. But again, I look at something like this and I'm just like, this is just stupid. It's a struct with 2 properties that are read-only. What harm is it to allow me to create this struct by passing in those 2 values? Let's see if somebody responded to what I just said. Rant off. Yeah. Can you get like a copy message link? Does that actually, if I put that in there? Yes, it does. Okay, I'm in a mood, so hold on. Okay, maybe I fast forwarded through all that, but this is the one right here. And I'm guessing it's going to get closed awfully fast because they're going to basically say, nope, we're not going to do this. Try a different way. And that's what I'm going to do right now because I'm not going to wait. Anyway, I at least had to raise my voice on that one. We do not make any of the types that you should be constructing. You're correct, that will not be made public. We do not make any of the types that you should be constructing having public constructors. We do, I have to read that again. We do not make any of the types that you should be constructing have public constructors. Huh? You know what? Whatever. I'm a little pissed right now, to be honest. So what I'm going to actually have to do is something like this. Okay. Take this code and put it in here. Except what I want is get receiver. So I'm going to take the source, and what I'm going to return is a map receiver. Okay. Yes. System. Okay. So I do that. I get the generator. I do that. I run that. And then I just say return generator. That's all I do. Fine. Oh no, I want the... Wait, I want the... I don't want the generator. I want the receiver is what I want. Not the generator, the receiver. And there's no way to get it the way I have it. Yeah. I don't want to run it. I just want... Unbelievable. I think this is a moment where I almost need to just walk away because I'm not happy with this attitude that they're having right now. And I'm not happy with the attitude I have either. I literally cannot test the receiver by itself. It's a method. It's an interface with a method. And all I want to do is say, did I get the right targets out of it by the context? I have literally no other way to do this other than go through the whole mapping generator and just hope this works. And if I had an error in here, well, I'm going to have to discover it that way. That is complete crap. That is complete crap. Okay. I'm going to just take a break because this is nuts. I'm not happy right now. I am actually really angry right now at this mindset that this person's giving me. And I need to walk away because I don't have, yeah. Yep. I'm going to stop right now. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I left my last video in a good mood. And I've had some wine for dinner. So that's helped a little bit. So I did a little bit of hacking. As you can tell, I am a stubborn person. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to find the constructor to this struct. And I'm going to invoke it. I'm going to pass in my values. I'm going to get a generator syntax context back. I wouldn't do this for real code or if this was something I was actually using in inline mapping, I'd have a little bit of hesitancy to do this, but this is just in tests. I just want to make sure that I can test my receiver separate from everything else. And this works. So if I go to my map receiver tests, you can tell here I can get a context. I can visit. Actually, I should, now that I'm here, take these out because there is no need for a multiple anymore. Okay. In these cases, I'm just, I could actually look at what's in them. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, this works just fine. I actually use this in the map generator test as well. I think down below here. Do I? No, actually I don't. I don't use them here. There's some other place I thought I used this create method. Yeah, there's a couple places I do it. Mapping information. Yeah, the mapping information test, because I need to do that for all these. And, it's a small thing. I get that I'm never going to get them to change this. They're adamant about if it's internal, we're not going to let you, we're not going to change it to public, rah, 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 rah. Whatever. I just said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And if this breaks, well, then I'll come back to this and fix it. But hate to say it, but it's like, don't tell me how to test. I want to test this separately from anything else. I want to make sure that when I run this code, that I am getting one thing in my targets. And I could test for more things here, but in this case, I get 1. In this case, I get 0. And then all my other tests pass. That's how I do it. I felt like it was getting to the point of this is forcing me to start looking at my tests in a way that I wasn't quite happy with, or I had to use a project template generator to create the test helper stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. No. So this all works now. And quite frankly, I think this is in a much better state. I like the way the receiver works. It's much cleaner. It's actually a lot less code. It gets to where I need to be right away. And it had the nice side effect of if I go up to InlineMapping and I look at the map generator, I just get the generate mappings. I go into the mapping information and I already know that when I get to this point, I just need to validate and get all the pairs. And that's it. In fact, I might even change this method name because it's like, do I really even need to call it pairs anymore? But it really cleans stuff out. So in this case, that was really helpful. So I'm going to finish this all up tomorrow morning. I'm going to look at rocks and also partially applied and see if this is helpful there as well. And then I'm going to finally move on to my new stuff. So this is how I'm going to end it in a better way. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.